Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. Pacific Solar and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Good news, my friends. Envelopes have been stuffed and stamped as $66 million in tax refunds have been mailed out. Ken's got that story.
Plus, the latest with the island's power situation.
And Isa Baza is going to report on the return of the School Resource Officer Program. Hafane and good evening if you're watching us live on KUM TV 8 or streaming us anywhere in the world on YouTube. Thanks so much for tuning in. Well, you want to fire up the barbecue, get the kids, remember they're going out, whatever suits your fancy. It looks like it's going to be a good weekend if you are waiting for a tax refund.
As Ken Kitiniza reports, after months of $1 million payouts, the Department of Administration mailed out $66 million worth of checks that will hopefully be in the hands of thousands of island residents as early as tomorrow. Ken Kitiniza has more.
The envelopes have been stuffed and the postage has been stamped. And today, after weeks of anticipation, the Department of Administration mailed out over 29,000 tax refund checks. Last month, Governor Eddie Calvo said, with the anticipation of the federal government's tax reimbursements, better known as Section 30 money, he ordered all outstanding tax refunds be paid out immediately.
Well, I've got some good news. We've had many of our hardworking employees at Department of Administration, in collaboration with Rev and Tax and all our financial agencies, worked the midnight candle yesterday or the midnight oil in printing out checks for refunds to our people.
Today, DOA staff continued to stuff thousands of envelopes before the refunds were mailed out late Friday afternoon. Of the 29,408 refunds, 28,822 are for tax year 2015, and 586 are for prior years. The checks cover all Status A tax refunds filed on or before May 22nd of this year. The payout comes just as the government of Guam was approaching a court-ordered deadline to pay tax refunds within 6 months of a return being filed, or 6 months after the April filing deadline, whichever is later. DOA Director Christine Boleto says the administration never needed the court order.
Our plan in mailing out the refunds was never premised about a court order or any. Our plan was based on the governor's directive to get refunds out consistently to our people and to have a plan to ensure that they're all paid out.
In the meantime, Rev and Tax Director John Camacho says if you owe any taxes, those will be offset first. Thereafter, other garnishments will take place if you owe child support and any bills to the Guam Memorial Hospital, Public Health, and GURA. And as the post office braces itself for thousands of checks to distribute, Governor Calvo hopes all refund checks and EITC payments will help boost our island economy.
So with that, I got some great news, and I look forward to a very, very busy weekend in our stores and in the island as a whole.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.
Now, the governor's office issued a release in which they stated that Rev and Taxes also processed returns through May 31st, with the Department of Administration hoping to mail out an additional $500,000 in refunds by next Friday.
The Guam Power Authority continues to experience problems with its base load generator, which means the dreaded L word. The agency issued a tentative load shedding schedule this morning with residents to experience hourly outages through this evening. GPA spokesperson Art Perez.
It is a tentative schedule. Last night, we reported MEC number 9 had to come down for emergency repairs. We expect those repairs to be completed by MEC crews late this evening or early tomorrow morning. And Cabras number 2 has been derated to 1/3 of its capacity. As of this morning, it was online about 25 megawatts. So with the shortage of generation on Cabras number 2, MEC number 9 coming down early this morning, last night, we've had to issue a tentative schedule for residents and for commercial businesses to be aware of.
The outages will be in 1-hour intervals. You can find the schedule on our Facebook page or website.
Well, the woman accused of stabbing her boyfriend after an argument over their Quest card is being held on $25,000 cash bail. Court documents state, quote, "The man's intestines were protruding from his stomach area." 25-year-old Datling Kosi is charged with attempted murder as a first-degree felony. Guam Regional Medical City spokesman Kevin Kerrigan confirms the man is in stable condition, with Kosi's next court appearance on the 23rd. Well, after a change in federal policy suspended a program that's reduced bullying by more than half of school campuses, it could be back in the school system in the next couple of months. Here's more.
It's a program that started in 2012 and aims to deter crime in schools by allowing probation officers to work on school campuses. And after being suspended earlier this year, the contract to reinstitute the School Resource Officer program may be completed in the next couple weeks. This after concerns of school violence made headlines this week after one FB Leon Guerrero parent went to Facebook to vent her frustrations with the bullying experienced by her two sons. Parent Lainey Sablon.
I've really been overwhelmed with the support. I didn't anticipate my Facebook post going anywhere. I just wanted to vent, so to speak. But I've been contacted by Chris Anderson and Joe Sanchez, I believe, and countless senators, and I'm hoping that we can do something positive with this.
Acting Superintendent Joe Sanchez said he has instructed DOE management to investigate Sablon's case. Meanwhile, he said DOE is also getting closer to reinstating the SRO program, which Superior Court of Guam Administrator Josh Tenorio said has previously reduced bullying by half in participating schools. The program was suspended due to changes in federal policy.
So there's a lot of progress in terms of impact. Yes, schools do notice that they're not there. We haven't gotten a lot of reports about fights and issues like that in the high schools, but we know that their presence would be welcomed when they return.
Sanchez said the project that sponsors the SRO program should be completing the contract by the end of the fiscal year, which is only 2 weeks away on October 1st. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
The Office of Public Accountability continued its hearing on the $100 million contract to renovate almost all Guam schools. Taking the stand today, Guam Education Facilities Foundation Chairman Richard Inman, one of the central issues, the $100 million cap. Attorney Joyce Tang represents losing bidder Cortec International. The company has filed several protests, which were denied because they were frivolous and based on speculation. This has led to hearings before the OPA.
At the time you submitted a proposal, did it intend to exceed the $100 million cap?
No.
If that's the case, why would it offer to do work up to $160 million?
Objection. Again, she's going into the contents of these proposals. Cortec is inventing an issue. This is what I stated from the very beginning, an issue that doesn't exist. Mr. Inman has already testified that he acknowledges there's a $100 million cap on an entity with a...
However, Tang said the cap is a central part of the issue because Cortec alleges GAF attempted to circumvent the limit through an IDIQ document. She further asked Inman how GAF was able to determine $160 million was available and asked for the methodology of GAF underwriters, to which Inman said that information is confidential. The hearing will continue Monday morning.
Well, the Department of Education is reminding parents, students, and stakeholders that the new bell schedules for elementary and high schools take effect on Monday. These changes address the current challenges resulting in delayed pickup and drop-off times by providing the necessary gap between elementary, middle, and high school end times. High schools, specifically JFK, Tidzin, the JP Torres Success Academy, and Southern High will open at 6:45 in the morning and go until 1:45 in the afternoon, while GW, Ukadu, and Sanchez High open at 7:15 and last until 2:15 in the afternoon. Middle schools are from 8:30 until 3:30, with elementary schools opening at 8:30 in the morning and ending precisely at 2:43.
It was a celebration of one of the most influential men in traditional canoe voyaging. Shipping company Matson honored the Grand Master of Pacific Sailing by rechristening his newest vessel in his name. Nestor Lacan's reports on the legend of Papa Mau.
This is the boat that now bears his name. He is Piailug, affectionately known as Papa Mau. He grew up on tiny Satawal Atoll in Yap State and became a master navigator by plying the waters of Micronesia. He rose to fame by sharing his techniques with Polynesian brothers in Hawaii and navigating the iconic 1976 voyage of the Hokulea. Fellow Yap native Larry Regatal, himself a recently named master navigator, was the master of ceremonies.
But it is, to me, very fitting that behind me is a ship now named Papa Mau that reminds us of our ancestors and the great voyagers that traversed this big ocean and resolved their own issues, if not in the canoe houses, then out on those canoes as they fish or voyage to distant land.
Matson Guam General Manager Bernie Valencia says they wanted to make sure they received permission from the family of Papa Mau, and several of his 16 children were in attendance.
I also spoke of Matson being the lifeline to the communities we serve, especially here in Micronesia. And so we think it's very fitting that not only is Matson the lifeline to the communities we serve, the islands, but we have a ship called Papa Mau that's also serving the islands. So again, thank you to the family for allowing us to do this.
The Hokulea voyage, navigated by Papa Mau, is credited for sparking a renaissance in Hawaiian culture and in traditional seafaring. Papa Mau's legacy lives on with a new generation of Micronesian sailors, including 7-year-old Dylan, who joined the long voyage from Yap to Guam. Dylan is the grandson of Papa Mau. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens, it's a beautiful day. We rely on the people we trust, it's a beautiful, who we can always count on, and the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are. It's a beautiful day. Select Care, healthcare that's there for you.
Hi, I'm interested in one of your new Samsung devices.
No problem. Check our new Galaxy S7 Edge.
Our network is faster and more reliable with increased reach throughout the islands, Guam, and the Sea Isle.
What do you think?
It's lit.
Come celebrate with Ulitau, Guam's proud seafaring tradition at Fiesta Tasi, the Festival of the Canoes, October 1st and 2nd at the Valley of the Ladi Talafofo River. Canoe carvers, artists, farmers, and local craftsmen will join us from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Matson Navigation, the Guam Visitors Bureau, Heineken, Kloppenberg Enterprises, GTA, Uno, the Guamanian Magazine, and the stations of KUAM are proud sponsors of this event. Tickets are available at Shell stations in Tamuning, Dededo, Varagata Tri-Intersection, and Chalampago. For info, visit valleyoftheladi.com or call 789-3342.
Been waiting for the best deals on a new car? Now is the time to buy during Triple J Auto Group's Super September Anniversary Sale. Get unbelievable savings and thousands off retail costs on our full 2016 inventory of Hondas, Mazdas, Acuras, Fords, Kias, Lincolns, and Volvos. Plus, receive a free gift. Check out deals like the Kia Forte as low as $92 per paycheck, or the Mazda 6 at only $128 per paycheck. Before you look at anything else, see Triple J's Speedy in print ad for more details. Get pre-approved instantly at triplejguam.com. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. Triple J Auto Group. Customers first.
Follow KUAM News on Twitter or become a fan on Facebook to get all your daily headlines from Guam's News Network.
While the rules and regulations for medicinal marijuana are now rejected, lawmakers are moving forward with a pair of bills aimed at strengthening the proposal. A public hearing for Bill 344 and Bill 343 was initially set for next week, but is now scheduled for the end of the month. Bill 344 would allow for home cultivation, whereas Bill 343 would strengthen the rules by allowing for safeguards such as patients' rights to privacy and clear guidelines for lab testing. The bill's author, Senator Tina Muñoz Barnes, says following an informational hearing over the summer and meetings with the medical community, the bills will be slightly amended to include clarifications on definitions. The Committee on Health will host the hearings, and according to Oversight Chair Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr., hopes to have the bills heard during the October session. The public hearing is scheduled for September 29 at 5 p.m. at the Guam Legislature.
Well, the first Guam Memorial Hospital Board of Trustees meeting since 2015 took place at the Tumuning facility Thursday evening. During the time, new officers were accepted into their new positions, specifically Eloy Hara as the new chairperson, Leon Perez Posadas as vice chair, Melissa Weidel as secretary, and Val Perez as treasurer. During the meeting, several resolutions were also passed relative to appointment of privileges, as well as providing a specified time frame for the completion of medical record requirements.
Recent radon testing on military property has the Navy focusing on mitigation efforts in affected buildings. According to Joint Region Marianas, the levels were below OSHA standards, but because the Navy and Environmental Protection Agency guidelines are more conservative, they are taking action to address the issue. The military stresses the levels are safe for work. Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas that breaks down over time. It is the second leading cause of lung cancer worldwide.
In other island news headlines, unloading operations were put to a halt after Port Authority staffers discovered an unwanted visitor on board a cargo vessel from Japan early Friday. A Guam Customs and Quarantine Agency release states the specimen was identified as the greater banded hornet, one of the latest additions to Guam's growing list of invasive species. Customs concluded the wasp may not have been brought in by the vessel, but simply attracted to the lights. Should you spot the wasp, which is distinguished by an orange band, you are urged to report it immediately at 475-PEST or 735-2001. Elsewhere, it's now been nearly 9 months since the ribbon-cutting ceremony, but the Speaker Ben Pangilinan Farmers Market up in Dedido has yet to open. Village Mayor Melissa Savara says the Farmers Co-op Board is finalizing a business plan before officially opening, adding that while the Dedido Municipal Planning Council and Farmers Co-op are still working out details of a memorandum of agreement, she expects an opening by the end of October. In addition to the farmers market and the weekend flea market, the co-op plans to open a Friday night market consisting of food truck companies. Savara says she's already talked to the vendors at the flea market to prepare them for relocating. She adds there are over 170 spaces along with an open market space for vendors. Farmer Co-op General Manager Statius Nicholas was unavailable for comment.
And just as thousands of tax refunds are paid out, so will the hundreds of precinct officials and election workers who helped with last month's primary election. Guam Election Commission Executive Director Maria Pangilinan says, with the exception of poll maintenance workers, she says the checks for over 300 precinct officials along tabulators, decolonization registrars, and homebound officials was ready for pickup. Today at the GEC offices in Hagåtña, over $150,000 was appropriated to pay for the primary election workers. In the meantime, the GEC will begin precinct official training next week for the general election. She says the trainings are mandatory and last for 3 hours. The trainings begin on September 19 for Jigo, September 21 for Dedido, 23rd for Dedido and Hagåtña Heights, and September 24 for Dedido and Hagåtña. The weekday trainings start at 5:30 p.m. and the weekend trainings begin at 10 a.m. For more information, call GEC at 477-9791.
And also, over 100 students gathered to enhance their skills at the second Rotaract Youth Leadership Conference in partnership with the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center. The theme this year is Uniting Our Future Leaders, with the group aiming to inspire local youth to become effective leaders. KUAM's Alyssa Eclavea has our next report.
Students from private and public schools joined the RYLC to enhance skills in public speaking, substance abuse prevention, financial literacy, and entrepreneurship. Felicia Alec from Academy of Our Lady of Guam High School and Amy Cruz from Notre Dame High School shared their experience at the conference.
I was very excited to attend this conference to meet new people and learn more about leadership.
I hope to take from this conference how to become a better leader, especially since I hold high positions at my school as overall vice president, and to meet new people.
Last year's conference introduced ways students can become leaders. This year, their aim was to unite them. The keynote speaker this year is Senior Deputy Governor of Youth Service from Rotary International District 3810 of the Philippines, Oliver Alvarez.
Earlier today, I talked about dreaming big dreams, giving examples on how Rotary actually gave venues for men and women to dream their big dreams and make it into a reality. So I was so happy that many of the students appreciated the talk earlier.
The Interact Club consists of high schoolers who practice the motto, service above self, by practicing their problem-solving skills to help better their community. The Rotaract past president, Chris Serla, shares his expectations for the participants this year.
We always want them to be good civic leaders, role models. So we want them to be role models and leaders in their community. And we'll hope that they join a Rotary International organization such as the Interact Clubs or the Rotaract Club of the Marianas.
After the conference, the Rotaract Clubs hopes that these young leaders will share their leadership skills in their schools and in their community. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Alyssa Clevea.
All right, thanks so much, Alyssa. Great job on that report. Well, stay tuned, everybody, because our guy Chris Barnett has your Dial Rent to Own Athlete of the Week and NFL action coming right up.
Hey, smart spenders. Looking for more ways to save? Buy food, get fuel. Shell's partnered with Cost You Less and Island Fresh stores to help you save. Spend $30 at any Cost You Less or Island Fresh and receive coupons for $5 off of your next $30 fuel purchase at any Shell station. Receive exclusive Cost You Less and Island Fresh offers when you fuel at Shell. Fuel up at your nearest Shell station today and start stacking on savings. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
This is what we do on Guam's best network. We're the filter killers, the likers and sharers, the bingers and Netflix chillers, the tweeters and hashtaggers. GTA has improved their 4G LTE network, covering 95% of the island, delivering faster data speeds, strength and quality, and more reliability than ever. It's just what you need. So switch to GTA and step up to a better network, a strong network that lets you do what you do. GTA, better LTE than ever.
It's the kickoff to savings event at Cars Plus in Muncie, going on now through September. Save thousands on a brand new Hyundai. Experience the award-winning Hyundai lineup with the best warranty on Guam. 10 years or 100,000 miles. The 2017 Hyundai Elantra starting at just $16,995. That's right, a 2017. Or how about the Hyundai Accent starting at just $11,995? Unbeatable. SUV lovers, the Hyundai Tucson is starting at just $21,995. The perfect vehicle for those tailgate parties. Visit CarsPlusGuam.com for easy shopping and quick financing. Kick off the savings going on now at Cars Plus, driven by you.
To prove how authentic my new Brewhouse Bacon Burger is, I'm going undercover at an actual brew house.
That's awesome. Amazing.
What if I told you you're eating a Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger from Jack in the Box?
Not this one.
So we're lying. And what if I told you that I'm Jack?
No!
Didn't see that coming, did you? Order real cheese sauce, grilled onions, and bacon on an artisan potato bun. Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger. New from Jack in the Box.
Hey, where'd Jack go? He was just here.
This is what precision looks like, helping you see what's hard to see, thanks to Terrain Denali's Side Blind Zone Alert that uses radar to watch your blind spots. So it's true, Mom does have eyes in the back of her head. The new, meticulously crafted 2016 Terrain Denali. From GMC, this is the precision of professional grade.
Visit AutoSpot GMC today for great offers. We are your GMC dealer of Guam.
Today, Guam, Chris Barnett with Sports Friday. Woohoo, business! Yeah, Fiesta Friday. Let's get right to it with our Dial Rent to Own Athlete of the Week. Here, Dial Rent to Own and Naganya, where it's 0 down and you could sit down on any sofa in here. So you come down and check it out. Dial Rent to Own and Naganya now for Athlete of the Week presentation. And this week's Athlete of the Week, Mr. Say Camacho. And my man Jack here from Dial with a special message for Say.
Congratulations on being Dial Rent to Own Athlete of the Week. Who would you like to donate your check to?
I'd like to donate this check to Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Well, there you go. And Say, congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
I know you got a lot of fans undefeated in his mixed martial arts career. You know, we don't have a lot of footage from your last fight because it was so quick, but what's that like, man? 3-0, and what's next for you in MMA?
Next for me is hopefully the next PXC coming up, But I've just been staying active with the Asian opening, and then the Marriott's coming up, and then hopefully the Art of War and Saipan. So just keeping that momentum going, staying active.
So Asian Open, what was that like? You made it to your third fight. It was a very competitive weight class for you.
Yeah, it was. I decided to go up a little heavier to 154 because every time I headed out there, like 2012 and 13, I had to weight cut. So I was like kind of during my first match. So I thought this one I just walk into the weight class. They were bigger than me, but I felt really good, very strong. Made it to my third round and I got subbed though. So, but it feels good to have a couple more fights besides getting taken out the first time.
There you go. Now, I know you're one of the stalwart Spike 22 guys. What kind of training you guys do down there? Is it you training more emphasis on MMA, or because I know you come from kind of a wrestling jiu-jitsu background? So what's the gist of your training?
Basically, we have an MMA training at 4:30, and then jiu-jitsu followed up with 6:30 to 7:30 or 9 o'clock, and basically more. We don't have a professional coaches, so it's basically we go in there with what we got, what we learn, we keep that, and we just kind of sponge it all in. We all learn from each other's experience as far as fighting and tournaments and so on.
There you go. How about your weight class, mixed martial arts? Who are some of the fighters on Guam that you'd like to go toe to toe with?
Well, personally, it's whoever they want me to go up against. I just got to stay ready. So I always go by it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have one and not be prepared for it. So basically, just stay ready for whatever they have for me.
Well, there you go. You stay ready, Guam. Our athlete of the week, Mr. Say Camacho. We're here at Del Rento and Naganya on behalf of my man, Jack. Remember, 0 down on sofas. So you come through, come through.
KUAM Sports Athlete of the Week is brought to you by...
All right, hey, let's hit our retros and get down to Tumon. Check out our sports director, Dave Delgado, with Game Day Grub.
Day Grub is brought to you by TGI Fridays.
Dave Delgado here at TGI Fridays for Game Day Grub with Andy Wheeler. Right now, it's the Jets leading the Bills 20-10. Ryan Fitzpatrick hooking up with Eric Decker for a touchdown pass after 2 field goals. Brandon Marshall going out with a knee injury. He's back. They score again off a run. Let's get you caught up with the rest of the day's action. Bills make an early run in the third quarter to take the lead 24-20. Jets knocking on the door from the 3-yard line. Matt Forte busting his way through the line for the touchdown. Forte says he enjoys the system in New York, jump-starting his career. Buffalo moving the ball past midfield. On 3rd and 1, Tyrod Taylor drops back, looking deep down the left side. Gets picked off by Marcus Williams on the sidelines. Taylor 18 of 30. 297 yards and 3 touchdowns. Williams getting his dance on. Hey, hey, hey. Tyrod looking over like, bruh. Jets get the win 37-31. Matt Forte, big game today. 30 carries for 100 yards and 3 scores. 2 receptions for 9 yards. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 24 of 34. 374 yards and a touchdown. Eric Decker leading the receiving corps with 6 grabs for 126 yards and 1 touchdown. Jets are now 1-1. Make sure to check us out at TGI Fridays every Monday and Friday for Game Day Grub. Chris, back to you.
All right, hey, one thing I love about football season, a reason to look forward to Monday, of course, other than coming to work in this wonderful job that I love so much. The NFL on CBS, 3 in the morning, KUAM TV 11, Cincinnati Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, and then at 6:25 a.m., Indianapolis Colts at the Denver Broncos. And then we move over to NFL on NBC, 10:20 KUAM TV 8, Sunday Night Football. The Green Bay Packers at the Minnesota Vikings. All right, Guam, hey, you guys do me a favor. Have a great weekend. Promise? And you keep on shining. My name's Chris Barnett. Thanks for watching. Adios!
Make sure we're getting ready. Excuse me. Hey, Flacco, what's in the bag?
McDonald's new Mighty Wings.
Those look good. I'll play you for them.
For what, my wings?
First one to miss has to watch the other one eat.
Let's go. Left upright.
I want to off the scoreboard through the uprights. Oh, man. Not again.
Cap, you trying to get my wings?
Nah, I'm right here.
What's that noise?
The Nissan Summer Fun Event is on. Get into a new Nissan Sentra starting at $98 per pay period with the No Worries Car Care Plan. Your new Nissan comes with a free 3 years protection plan and free paint sealant. Enjoy discounts up to $10,000 when you choose from the award-winning lineup of Nissan sedans, including Versa, Maxima, and Altima. Take advantage of super low easy financing and save even more. It's the hottest summer event ever at Nissan Upper 2 months. Sentra starting at $98 per pay period. Find out more at NissanGuam.com.
Tourism, it's our #1 industry. As Guam's largest employer, tourism supports 20,000 jobs. In fact, 1 out of every 3 jobs is tourism related. Annually, tourism generates over $150 million in tax revenue. Without it, every household would pay an additional $3,100 per year. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry. Make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Support tourism.
When you reserve a party at Chuck E. Cheese's, it's guaranteed to be a blast! Blast off! And now, birthdays are more of a blast than ever! Because for a limited time, tickets in the Ticket Blaster are worth double!
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes. From caring for our land through the Adaki Itano program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Sidza Smaasi Matson.
All right, time to do some birthdays, courtesy of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy birthday wishes tonight go out to Matthew Time and Glow.
Happy birthday, Jasmine May Opena. Love, Mom and Dad.
Happy birthday to Papa Thomas Mateo Jr. This comes from your grandkids, Traylene and Thomas the Fourth.
Happy birthday, Uriah and Avon Dela Cruz.
Happy birthday to this young man, Joshua Meno. Your entire family says they hope you had a good day.
And to Priscilla Tenorio Cruz, coming from her husband, her 3 kids, and 2 grandsons. Happy birthday.
And we do have a belated birthday wish to send out. This is birthday number 8 to Samara Sison. This comes from Mom, Dad, and the Sison and Baza family.
And now it's time to announce the winner of our yummy Cold Stone Creamery birthday cake. Congratulations goes to, that's my drum roll,
very nice,
Matthew Low. Happy birthday. Today is his birthday.
Yeah, we just read him literally 20 seconds ago. So, hey, Matthew, have an extended birthday courtesy of our friends at Cold Stone Creamery.
Cakes on us.
Yeah, cakes on us. You are really going to like it. That ice cream cake's going to be good because it looks to be a little bit hot this weekend.
And that's going to do it for us here on the news desk. Stay tuned. Music.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
Afternoon and welcome back, everybody. The United States Constitution codifies the principles upon which our country was formed and continue to live today. And presiding Judge Alberto Lamarena is here in studio. Judge, welcome back.
Oh, thank you for inviting me back, Jason.
Well, you are always welcome here. Always welcome to talk about matters of legal things and things I truly do not understand and everything. Yeah. And certainly you're welcome because we are coming up on Constitution Week.
Yes.
Now, why is that important and how does Guam play a role in exactly how we can appreciate the Constitution?
Well, it's important in a way because the Constitution is the document that defines our nation, our people, our way of life, and it defines how we interact or relate to our government. So it's a very important document because it defines the whole person of the nation and of its people. It's a document that exemplifies that it's a document of the people, by the people, and for the people, and was written by the people, for the people, and of the people. So it's a very important date. To me, September the 17th, 1787 is a more important document than July 4th. As I recently stated, it encompasses our nation, the essence of our nation, and of course, is the direction of our people.
Well, not only as a student of the law, but as a teacher of history, I'm sure you would say that, that's literally like your Bible for people in your profession.
Oh, yes.
That lays out everything that, determines how you do your job.
Right. Well, Alexander Hamilton, who wrote the Federalist Papers, or was one of the authors of the Federalist Papers, stated that the judges are the guardians of the Constitution. And I hope to uphold that statement that he made, that we as judges are the guardians of the Constitution. If we lose sight of what the Constitution is all about, then we have a very uninformed public, a public that is very vulnerable to forces of evil. Like the old saying, it says that for evil to thrive, good men just have to do nothing.
Yep.
And we cannot sit back and ignore that.
I knew who said that at one point, Jonathan.
So,
escaping me. We'll both remember it after we finish this interview 3 seconds afterwards. But Your Honor, Constitution Week obviously is a time where people can focus specifically on that. And I like how you actually said, judges as the vanguards of the Constitution. You make sure, you make sure that not only are its principles upheld, but also that you pass on those lessons to a younger generation. And I remember when I was in school, there was a whole section of social studies where you would have to memorize almost, the preamble certainly, and the Bill of Rights and the major amendments and everything. Are young people, in your opinion, getting as proper an education into exactly what the Constitution is these days?
Well, I think so, and I hope so. That's the whole purpose of our school system. One of the things we're doing now is we're making 40 presentations to over 1,500 students in the next week. I'd like to thank the justices, judges, attorneys, and court staff that are taking part in this endeavor. We're making it a bigger program because we want to have a bigger community outreach. We've done this in the past, but at a smaller scale. But this time we want to involve the entire government. The legislature is going to be passing a resolution today, declaring this week Constitutional Week. The governor will be signing a proclamation tomorrow, recognizing this week as Constitutional Week. So we want to have the three branches of government participate in this because we are involved in making sure that we have an educated and informed public. And that's important for this government and this nation to survive.
What is the one thing that you would say, like in your many decades of upholding the law, some of the lessons you would like to pass down to young people right now, or maybe even prospective lawyers who will go on to do the kind of work that you were doing?
Well, I want to only direct to young people, even old people, because sometimes everyone should be aware of what their rights are in the Constitutions, what their responsibilities are with the Constitution, and what the Constitution is all about and what it stands for. It stands for a document. It's not just a paper document. It stands for a principle that the United States was on the forefront of being the first government to be formed by the people, for the people. Prior to that, all the empires and countries were governed by divine right. In other words, the monarch, the king or the queen, was the only arbiter of the law. They decided you get executed today.
Or the emperor would just say, yep,
right,
you're out of here.
Yeah, if they want to put you to jail, if they want to take away your tax, increase your taxes, you have nothing, no say so. And so this Constitution was passed on September 17, 1787, makes it a document in which we are ruled by the law and not by people.
Well, I guess final question. What does the Constitution mean to you? And I'm sure you've had this conversation with your fellow colleagues, the judges and the justices, like Chief Justice Robert Torres, Judge Socola, even younger judges like Judge Canto when he was here and everything like that. So at that level, when you were a judge, what does the Constitution mean to you?
I think the Constitution is the foundation of what we are as a people, as a nation. I think if we abide by the provisions of the Constitution, I think we would be better off of it. I think it protects the rights of all peoples in our nation. It also delineates the checks and balances of power between each separate branch of government. It indicates that no branch of government is more powerful than the other, although there may be more responsibility than the others, but each branch of government checks the other so that the governor, the legislature, the judiciary cannot prevail without somebody checking on them.
It's an unbelievably powerful document.
Yes, it's a very powerful document. Sometimes people say, well, it's a document that stifles progress, but sometimes sometimes when we have to ponder and think things over, maybe it's a document that's been meaningful. It's lasted for over 240 years, and I hope it lasts for another 240 years.
All right. Well, Your Honor, I hope you can come back and visit us, for another 240 years, and we always appreciate your insight.
Thank you, Jason. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, please stay tuned, everybody. We are back right after this.
This program is brought to you by GTA, your island, your network. beautiful, healthy smile is an expression of confidence. The more confident you are about your smile, the more likely you are to fully express your feelings without having to worry about the way your teeth look.
Before cosmetic dentistry, I didn't smile as much. I didn't have the confidence, and it shows. And since I've had cosmetic dentistry done, I feel 10 times more confident. I make my initial introduction with a nice big smile and a handshake, and I just feel like it really is a relationship builder, a nice warm smile, and it makes the clients and customers feel more comfortable with you, feeling confident, and they feel that you're not just there for business, that you're also there kind of as a friend as well. So I mean, it's amazing how powerful a smile can be. A good smile.
Since your smile makes a significant impression on those around you, it is important that it makes the impression you want it to make.
House to Home, brought to you by Remax Diamond Realty.
This is House to Home, where we give you the very best information on Guam about property ownership. Now, last week, you may recall, we talked about some of the things that might scare you away from possibly owning a home, because with Liz and Gina's help from Remax Diamond Realty, we were talking about equating home ownership to dating. Now, we said, you may get cold feet. There's a lot of obligations. There's the mortgage. There's fixing the yard, possibly fixing the toilet. I know you mentioned, Liz. But there are many more benefits. Just like being in a marriage, overall, it behooves you so much more to be married.
That's right.
I'm not sure if there's any passage in the Bible that says you actually have to own a home, but you can see the logic and everything. So, Gina, let's start with you. For the benefit of everybody watching right now, what is equity, and what value does it mean to you as an adult and as you begin to progress in years?
So equity is the simplest way to explain it is it's like you've taken the money that you've saved up and you've invested it into this home. Even if you get 100% financing, you had some equity, you had some money that you had to put on the table in order to buy a home, okay? So it's like putting that money in a savings, and equity is that house goes up in value, and that's your equity. That is the amount you owe versus the value that has gone up. That layer is your equity. It's kind of like your return on your savings. It's what you're making on the house as it continues to grow in value.
Because quite literally, a house is an investment.
It is an investment in every sense of the word. It really is like you're taking that money, you're taking it out of your savings account, and you're putting it into the house by paying for the fee so you get the mortgage. And then over time, the value of that property, relatively speaking, it should continue to go up. But it goes up if during the time you've kept the house in good condition, you've maintained it, you have insurance on it, so if there's a catastrophe, you're able to address those issues, you've kept it well maintained. And then, of course, the value should go up if the market stays the way it is. And the beauty of real estate is what goes down goes back up. So right now we're in that upswing again.
All markets are cyclical.
Yeah.
Cycles up and cycles down.
Yeah, so that's the equity.
And the cool part about it is if a family bought a home, and let's say their family starts to grow, whatever that equity value is. So for example, if they bought it for 150,000 or 200, and then 3-4 years later, it's worth 350,000. They pay their mortgage, they still have a difference that they walk away with. It's their equity. They can take that to buy another home. So what some families do is they buy up. They buy a bigger home, or they may maintain that home, turn around and rent it, and then move on to a larger property to accommodate their growing family's needs. So investors look at that. They, instead of, if you look at your interest rate of what you put your monies in the bank, what is that return? Is it 1%, 2% now versus buying a piece of property and then seeing what that return of that investment would be a few years down the road? So more than likely, your return on real estate property is so much higher in comparison. I mean, I'm not saying don't put your money in the bank. I'm just saying for investors who have extra monies to play with, this is what they would do.
Because you're using money to make money.
Right, to make money,
And
exactly.
this is the kind of thing, like when in terms of equity, that car ownership does not deliver, and like smaller investments and everything. Because I mean, owning a house is a huge chunk of your time, your effort, and out of your bank account and everything. But it does benefit you in the grand scheme of things.
But again, for families, we try to educate them as much as they can. And I've seen families go from a 2-bedroom condo to a 3-bedroom condo, and then they eventually build their own home. And then they have a 4-bedroom home with over 2,000 square feet of living space compared to the 800 square feet that they started with in the beginning.
Okay, there's a very good point, and I'd like to ask both of you, if I may. The sentiment I kind of got from you, Liz, was sustained growth. You said 2-bedroom condo, 3-bedroom condo, full house. What if people at a very early age go from renting a 2-bedroom apartment or a studio and everything, and all of a sudden they want to own, 4-bedroom house? They get married, and maybe they have a child, and maybe they have a dog and everything like that. Do you as realtors advise people to take phased growth as you get older, or can you make that jump from, little 850-foot square, studio apartment to palatial mansion?
I think it'll be dependent on their income. So some people don't want to go through that process, and they want to just go big. So of course you'd have to look at their income to see what can that buy. So when you get their assistance in getting them pre-qualified, you want to see what will that buy. But then you always have to sit with them. Can you handle this? What are your current expenses? Are you traveling a lot, and what's your budget like? Because then when you grow to a bigger piece of property, your mortgage, of course, will be higher than what they're accustomed to. I know I advised someone, they bought the house at that time really low, and I said, do not sell this, keep it, rent it, because if you refinance it or something, yes, you'll get some monies back, but you're going deeper into debt. So if it's cash flowing, keep it rented. And then they eventually bought another home that they moved into, renovated, but they have both homes. So they're able to sustain it because their income can support it.
Okay, well, Gina, final word is yours. Why should people own their own home?
Well, number one, because then you can control it. The equity growth is in your pocket, and it's more stable for you. You're not adhering to what happens in the market. As the market goes up, landlords will see that, and the rent goes up. But for new families, you were talking about new families that are going from a 2-bedroom to 3. What I tell them is, go get pre-qualified, and that payment, if it's 250, 300, 400,000, go ahead and start making that payment now. Make that payment for 6 months while we look around. Hopefully it won't take us 6 months, but do it now. So if your payment's going to be $2,000 a month, start paying that every month somewhere. Put it in your savings. And if you could do that for 3 to 6 months, then maybe you are ready.
All right. Well, ladies, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Stay tuned, everybody. We are back right after this good information.
At IT&D, we take a different approach when it comes to data. Introducing IT&D's new rate plans. We've increased the amount of 4G LTE data for our plans to give you more of what you want, so you can do more of the things that you want. More snapping, more sharing, more connecting. Bring your own phone and get even more 4G LTE data and up to 3 months of free service. New plans, more data, more value. IT&D, life in motion.
How come you're not training for the Guam Coca Road Race, man?
It's not even fair, bro. I'll just win that.
Boom! Got him.
Ruby Tuesday now gives you more for lunch. Endless trips to the Fresh Garden Bar, plus add-ons, mini combinations, and even new meal options. It's the new lunchtime menu, available Monday to Friday until 2 p.m., only at Ruby Tuesday.
Art is something that is wonderful for everybody, whether you're directly involved in or just to go and appreciate. And I have two lovely ladies here from KAHA who are going to tell us about a wonderful event that organization is putting on. We have Angie Tadigui and, of course, Rita Nalta. Ladies, half a day.
Half a day.
All right. So tell me all about this event. Let's go ahead and start with you, Angie. It's Jumpstart Your Art, Marketing Resources and Guides.
Yes.
Interesting title.
I like to introduce, Guampedia and KAHA has been partnering since the for workshops series for more than 3 to 4 years, right? And then Guampedia, Ms. Reginalta, she will be facilitating the workshop, but they will also be documenting the workshops, and then they will be producing an e-publication on the workshop preceding the workshop that people can access on the guampedia.com, right?
Yes.
And I think Ms. Rita will probably basically be going through the outline of the workshop and all that's going to happen. But I just wanted to give a few backgrounds. In 2003, KAHA has been offering workshop to assist the artists in preparing on the 12th Festival of the Pacific Arts. And now that it has come and gone, we want to continue that momentum so that for the 13th Pacific, FestPac in Hawaii in 2020. And so KAHA is taking those steps to further by offering educational capacity building workshop to the artists, cultural producers, and entrepreneurs to enable them to connect their entrepreneurial spirits and creative freedom to produce a sustainability art business. So with that, KAHA is offering actually 2 free workshops for artists, cultural producers, entrepreneurs. On Saturday, September 24th, there will be 2 workshops. The first session, the morning session, is from 10 a.m. to 12, and that will basically focus marketing and copywriting. And then the second workshop in the afternoon session is 1 to 3, and that will focus on the resource and the guidance for the artists. The workshops will be held at the KAHA office in the Tulai Professional Building down in Agana on the first floor. Let's see, if you would like to come in and register, you may come in, or give me a call at 300-1204 to 1208.
All right, very nice.
Okay.
Okay, so Rita, how is Guampedia? Because you guys do such a marvelous job, documenting our island's history, going back and finding stuff that a lot of people want to know, but also like basically chronicling everything that we go forward. And I would assume this is going to be a major event.
Every day we're making history. We definitely
Very
do.
true.
And so with this particular workshop, and like with the previous workshops that KAHA had done leading up to FestPac, we would document the proceedings, the presentations and all that. And those that aren't able to make the workshop can actually go online to Guampedia. So you can actually go to Guampedia's site and see the different publications from the different workshops. But for this particular workshop, especially since I think people still feel the energy from FestPac, and that there's, it's not just Festival of Pacific Arts that we have to look forward to in 2020, but that there's a lot of opportunity growing, especially with our tourism and then the new Guam Museum opening, that there's a lot of opportunity for our artists to jumpstart their art. And we have very talented people, from recording artists, new bands, a lot of up-and-coming artists, but not everybody's familiar with what it takes to start a business. What should I do? Where do I go from here or there? And so this is kind of a general overview. So the first workshop in the morning is going to be about marketing in general. Your 4 Ps: product, price, promotion, and place. And then we'll also have Dr. Judy Flores, who is the KAHA chair, but also an artist and an entrepreneur herself, give her perspective of what it's taken over the last, I think her career has spanned like 30 years, and she's still going. But these are to be able to help the artists who are considering, or they just have a thought, or that cultural producers or people have all these ideas from FestPac going, oh, I want to do this, or I want to make this. Well, this is the place to come in and see all in one roof what kind of resources are available. For the afternoon session, we have like the Small Business Development Center will be there. We'll have a panel of resources, and that would be SBDC, like I mentioned. And then we also have the Guam Preservation Trust. They give out grants, things like that.
Okay.
We
tell you what, we have to run to a commercial, but
Oh,
we're going to
sorry.
put the full schedule, let you know how you can check it out, what time, and how you can participate in this very wonderful event. So make sure to check out our Facebook page. We'll be back after this.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
A wonderful event, my friends, is coming up very, very soon, where our friends in Guam's Filipino community can gather together as one family and celebrate their culture and their heritage. And Norman Analista is here, and we're talking all about that. Hi, Norm.
Hey, Jason. How you doing?
Welcome back. So tell me all about this, because you guys always have amazing events.
Thank you. Well, there's two particular events that I want to talk about, and they're kind of combined. It'll take place on October 29th, and that's a Saturday night. It'll be at the Hyatt Regency Guam. We're celebrating our 62nd anniversary. So 62 years ago, the Filipino community of Guam formed. And what we're going to do that night is we're going to give out awards to Filipinos that have the distinction of being called role models. So Gawad Ulirang Filipino is actually the term that we're using to describe the awards portion, and that loosely translates to role model Filipino.
Now, what criteria are you using to do that? Because there's so many members like throughout, you know, in the 62. First of all, congratulations and happy anniversary.
Thank you.
And how do you assess exactly how someone is considered a role model of Filipino descent in Guam's community?
Yeah, and so basically we do have a criteria, and the only requirements are that they are a resident of Guam and that they have some Filipino descent. We also want to make sure that they don't have any criminal records, and that they have made some notable contributions in their respective areas. So there's going to be a total of 9 different categories. And in the interest of time, I'll just name a handful. So we will have an award for someone in the medical field, one for a person in the field of education, also business and the arts. And we also have a family volunteerism award. So there will be a total of 9 categories. And all of that information can actually be found on our Facebook page. So you just type up Filipino Community of Guam, and then you'll see the requirements for the awards.
Okay, so are you accepting open nominations right now? And then when is the cutoff date?
Yes, definitely we are. And we want to get the word out there that anybody can be nominated, provided that they meet the criteria that I mentioned earlier. The forms can be available from our Facebook page, or they can certainly contact our public relations officer, who is Kay Custodial. Her number is 929-2284. And the deadline for that is going to be September 23rd. So it's right around the corner.
Both you and Kay, do you guys ever sleep? you guys work tirelessly, not only in your primary jobs, working in the public sector, but you're very proud Filipinos, and you do so much to not only celebrate the various virtues of your culture, but also the way you've integrated into the Guam family.
Yeah, and we're just really excited because Kay and I are both Filipinos who are born and raised on Guam.
Sure.
So we kind of have a different perspective than, let's say, a Filipino who may have just recently migrated to the island. And I think what we're finding is that our networks are different, our resources are different, and just the way that we tackle projects are a little bit different. And if I dare say, maybe a little bit more modern. So we're utilizing social media. We're doing a lot of things that we haven't really done before as an organization. And so it may look like we're not getting any sleep, but we just know how to manage our time.
Oh, very cool. Well,
Yeah.
that is one of the hallmarks of you, I know, because of the various projects you've undertaken over the years. Now, if people would like to go and, celebrate with you or see see the winners and everything like that, is it an open event and can we buy tickets?
Yes, absolutely. Anybody can come to the event. The tickets are $50. They can contact Kay. It'll come with a sumptuous buffet from the Hyatt. There'll be cultural entertainment.
I like that word.
Yeah,
Spoken
exactly.
like a true former journalist. Sumptuous.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be extraordinary.
For me, that says shrimp.
The shrimp?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Hyatt, whenever we put together our menus or our offerings, they're always really, really satisfying. So, they can look forward to great food, great company, great entertainment. And I just need to really point out that although it's a Filipino community in Guam celebration, as you well know, we are very much involved and very inclusive in our celebration. So anybody and everybody who is interested are more than welcome to show up at the event.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, so anything else you'd like to add before we go?
Well, I'd just like to say that we've been around for 62 years. We hope to be around for 62 more. And we've always made it a point to think of projects that have made positive impacts in the community. And we're very open to working with everybody.
Well, we're both Guamanians, and from one Guamanian to another, we thank you so much for everything that you guys do.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. That is going to do it. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.